And what an absolutely glorious morning. I'm fishing today on the Grand Union Canal at Shrewley. I had a real urge to go canal fishing. I hadn't been for a few months, and one of my teammates put me onto this section. I've never actually fished it before. I've fished up to the north on the canal a lot round Lapworth and Knoll in the past, and also further down at Hatton. But this stretch is actually controlled by Tunnel Barn Farm, which is a really prolific and famous commercial, and some people might not realise that they've got this fantastic stretch of canal. So it's a little bit of an unknown quantity for me, but like I mentioned, it's an absolutely glorious morning. It's just wonderful to be here. I think it's causing Chappie, the cameraman, a few problems because it's so bright on this side of the canal and a bit shaded on the other side, but we're going to do our best. So I've just spent a bit of time plumbing up, and I've learnt a lot about the depths and contours of the canal, and I'm desperate to get fishing, so I'm going to start off by feeding some ground bait and bait. It was actually quite a cool morning. It doesn't look it now, but it was quite misty when I got here, and it definitely feels like autumn is certainly setting in. So I'm not going to go mad with the bait to start with, and I'm going to cup in some lightly squeezed balls of ground bait that just contain some casters and dead pinkies, and I'm just going to take it from there. So what I learnt about the peg was that it's quite a pronounced slope really from the far bank down to the middle of the boat channel, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed one line that's perhaps about, I don't know, 2 meters from the far bank, and then I'm going to feed another line a bit close to the far bank. So I've got two different options, and hopefully when we start catching it will give me the chance to rest one swim and also try different baits and understand what's going to be the best sort of feeding on the day. So like I say, I didn't squeeze these balls too hard, and it's not a heavy ground bait, so hopefully they're not going to roll down the slope. Hopefully they'll settle somewhere near where I've cupped them in, and it's going to be a good base for us to start fishing and hopefully attract some fish. So I've put 2 balls, and I'm going to put another ball just a little bit further out on this line, and then on my other line, which I'm going to feed to my right, I'm going to feed another metre out. So I'll just quickly do that. And my intention is to loose feed some casters as well. And I've got some worms, so I can chop some worms up if need be, and to try and get a response. And I've also brought some pellets with me, which perhaps is something that you might not associate with canal fishing, but I've had some good success fishing pellets on the Grand Union in recent years, so that's something that we'll perhaps try a bit later on in the session. Right then, so I'll quickly put this one in, and then we can start fishing. Obviously I'm being careful to remember where I'm cupping them in and line them up with a far bank marker. So there you go, I've got 2 lines. They're far enough apart hopefully to keep the separate shoals of fish feeding, and we'll give it a go. Well, I think it's really exciting, the fact that I've not fished this stretch before. I mentioned that my teammate Darren Massey had been catching some nice skimmers and hybrids here, and it is the canals now are fishing so well. Typically there's a lot of bigger fish than what we used to catch, so it's just going to be really interesting to see how we get on today. So I thought I'd just start off with a slightly heavier rig, with a slightly heavier hook and hook length, just in case there is some bigger fish that have come straight onto that feed. Obviously, if I don't catch on it, then I can try one of the lighter rigs and see if that'll help presentation and get us started. But I just thought it was worth trying for 5 or 10 minutes with this heavier rig. Whoa, there's a bite straight away. And it feels like a good fish, so I'm pleased I did start on this heavier gear. I'm just going to take my time. I've not seen what it is yet. Wow, it's a nice bream. Fantastic. He's just wrapped round the line. He's not foul hooked, but how about that? Look at that. Absolutely amazing. That's a bream. I don't know, he's got to be 3 pound. And I actually caught that on 3 red maggots on a size 14 hook. So, what a great start to the session. Let's hope that wasn't a one-off anyway, so I'll try again. And I'll use the same bait, so I'm going to put a couple of maggots on and actually try a fluoro pinky as well. Unbelievable. I just went straight back in on that same line and had a couple of knocks, maybe line bites, then it sailed away, and that's another decent fish. You can see I'm trying to play the fish away from where I'm feeding and away from the shoal, and then a lot of times on canals like this I like to ship along the bank, so that's why I position my roller to the side of the towpath. Obviously canals can be busy at times and you don't want to risk the chance of your pole being broken. That's another beautiful bream. Look at that one, Monty. Looks like a similar size as well. What an unbelievable start to the morning. I'm gonna unhook this fish and hold him up for the camera. So what a great start. It'd be amazing if this was a match. But it does just prove how important it is sometimes when you're starting on an unknown venue to start the session off with a slightly heavier rig, just in case you did hook a decent bonus fish like that. I'm going to put that in the net. Well, that truly is an amazing start. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to top up that line with just a bit smaller ball of ground bait and plenty of casters, and just rest it for a second and try the other line. I don't know about you, but I just love fishing early in the morning like this. And on canals, it's often the best time of the day. I mean, you can see we've had no boats yet. There's been no walkers or bikes, and we've pretty much got the place to ourselves. So I think it's a good idea, particularly in the warmer months, to start earlier in the day. And I have to say, sometimes that's been the best catching time. Once you get all the disturbance, then the fishing can become a bit more tough. So we might find that today, but anyway, what a wonderful start already. Well, Tunnel Barn control a good stretch of this canal from the Truly Tunnel, which is right next to where the lakes are, up past the second bridge, which is where we're fishing today. I'm not sure exactly how many pegs they've got, but there must be 30 or 40 pegs. And I sort of spent some time selecting this peg today. You can see it's a